exciting.
Very exciting.
It's
Yeah,
very exciting. Congratulations.
I always, well, let's start it off. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk. It's Friday, August 20th. The first thing I was going to announce is Tina has a new listing, 2660 Dawson Street. This is a fourplex. It's got a 2-bedroom and 3 efficiencies, generates $49,200 a year in gross revenue. It is currently for sale for $499,000. If you have a buyer, forget about the inside information you were just given from Tina.
Oh, shit.
But so we know that 500,000 is a serious number for this place, and she'll be reviewing offers on Monday as they reviewing them as they come in, but the owner won't be looking at them until Monday. So anyway, if you've got investors or investors who would be interested in something like this is in Hollywood, fourplex. Like I said, it's $499. And I mean, like I said, good revenue on it. So make sure to pass that information to any potential investor buyers you may know, or people who want to become investors and would be interested in getting into something like this. So that is 2660 Dawson Street. So congratulations, Tina, on your listing, and congratulations on already having offers on it. That's very exciting.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about who's buying. Wow. I think it's an investor because it's commercial. The broker is Commercial Specialist International Sales.
Some Brazilian wants to buy it.
I think so.
So fantastic.
Tina, just go ahead and send it over to the office email, and Patrick and I will review it, and then
you want to see?
Walk you
I'm going to
through.
send you all the offers.
Yeah, perfect.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
You go, Tina.
I'm shocked. I'm saying to myself, did we list it too low?
No, I think
No, listen,
Tina,
listen, when you do your job and you price it correctly,
I can't believe it.
you get real offers. When you price it out of whack, then you get offers that are that end up backing out left and right, basically.
Well, I just looked at it. It's an initial $5,000 deposit with $30,000 five days later, and closing September 17th.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's like 3 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
We remember, Tina, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out where the right number was for the pricing on this thing, and the right number is the one that gets the offers coming in. And I think, after all of our due diligence and reviews, that I think we hit the right number. You've got 2 offers on it already. I believe you've got more offers over the weekend. So it's very exciting, and I think you did your job well on this thing. I know how much time you and I spent reviewing numbers to price it properly, and I think we hit it. I think we hit the nail on that. So it's very exciting. So I'm waiting to see the one that comes in at 525. That's the one that I'm looking for. So all right, moving on with the morning. We've gotten started with Chime. Everyone should have been in and played around with it a little bit. I've had time to only work with a couple of people so far to get their Chime website completed. I know, Diane, you're on the meeting, Kara, Tina, we should take some time. I'm available to do this via Zoom, and I'm available to do it in person. I know, Diane.
Because I know you finished Dakota's. Can we show his? So we can kind of see
give me a second to let me see. Let's embark. All right, so let me share my screen. So is everybody seeing Dakota's website?
Yes.
So then we scroll down. Here's the information on Dakota.
Oh, nice picture of him.
Very nice.
I like Dakota.
So this is primarily what I'm looking at getting set up for each of you. So it looks similar to this, that we have your social medias attached, that we've got a fantastic picture of you, that we've got a bio for each of you. These are the things that we have to get set up. You notice even down in the corner, our AI will have a picture of the agent for that, and you can talk to them supposedly through the AI system. So, and then, you know, they have the full functionality. You can search for listings. You can get a home valuation done. You can get more information about us or contact us. Excuse me. You can also, as you're looking at a listing, let me find one that's, I don't know, here's one for Dawson Street. I don't know what, well,
How did that get in there? Because it's, wow, look at me.
all right, so I'm not going to sign in.
So funny.
I'm going to bail out of
Look at
that.
me. Ooh, it's magic.
It's magic. There it is right there.
I had to turn off the video. I look like an insane nut. I've been up since 5:30. I've been up since 5:30 with a 5-month-old.
So this is why, to me, it's very important for us to get your Chime website completed. I will also, if we have time, I like to do a top to bottom brand review for each of you as we do this. That way you can make sure that your website, your exit profile, your realtors, Zillow, Facebook business page, Instagram page, LinkedIn page, that you're consistent across all of these platforms. So whenever anybody's looking at you, they're seeing the same picture, they're seeing the same back, they're saying, oh, this is this person. And then when you type your name in Google, eventually the SEOs start to catch up with it. And all you have to do is type in your name and realtor, and you'll have the whole page. All of the links are you. This is you at Realtor. This is you at Exit. This is you at this website. This is, so that's the goal of building this out. And so that's why this is so important to get done. I'm going to bail out of the share here for the moment. Okay. So again, that's what we're working on when I say make time with me to set up and work with Chime. Next week is going to be a fantastic week for everybody to be able to have time to meet with me to do this.
Patrick, mind you, everyone needs to know this is just phase one. So this is of Chime. So this is just getting you set up, like you said, your profile, so you're branded. Phase two is how it works behind the scenes with the smart plans, with the AI, with lead capture and lead generation, tying in the exit tools with the exit ad center. So but in order to get to phase two, we all got to get through phase one. So, and it doesn't have to be in person. If it's easier for you to work at home, this can be done at Zoom, but it's absolutely necessary that it gets done. It's for you, you know. So I just want to get it done. So we're all set up. Then we can work on the campaigns behind the scene, because you got to edit them a little bit. You know, I mean, most of them in the middle of the campaigns, the emails are all good, but sometimes the initial email, the introductory email out to the people doesn't quite make sense for every situation, and we might need to edit some of those things or even rearrange them. So I just want to make sure that we get you through phase one, so we can get you through phase two, so the system can really start working on your behalf.
Well, and that's the key word right there, system. Your website is one of the most important things in your system of lead generation, your system of remaining in contact with people over a period of years. So having this as the first step set up is just so key to getting the whole system built out properly. And yeah, I'm already into the second phase where I'm starting to work through the smart plans with the lead generation, so that we'll have a continued process where we go into the phase two, where we're really, I think I feel like I'm still working on a few bugs in the lead system, and you may have seen leads and stuff coming around. Some of them are coming in, Bianca's putting them into the system. Others are coming in from Realty. We're still working those systems out. They are leads. They're good. Work them.
And Patrick, you know, I want to mention the other cool, really cool feature that we discovered that it has is goal setting. So we can get together and we have to set it at the office level. So whatever your annual goal is, we can preset that in the system, and it will track your progression. So
That's cool.
you'll know exactly where you are and what you need to do to meet your goals. It's the analytics on this system is absolutely incredible. In Dakota, you had asked about like with MailChimp and stuff like that, and according to Patrick, the Chime in the analytics portion of this has a lot of those same features.
I've not used MailChimp, so I don't know exactly the analytics that you were talking about, but I have seen through Chime that they have, I mean, you can dig deep of how the analytics are working by individual, by lead type, by email, I mean, the ways you can break it out are incredible. And again, I think this is sort of I don't even know if that's phase 2 part of, of working through Chime. It's definitely as we get into phase 2 and phase 3 of Chime, of where we're really now, we've got campaigns running and we can always see the effectiveness of any of these campaigns that we're running, as well as lead sources and everything else. So again, one of the cool features that I found with Chime when we were first looking at it, another one that I think everyone will like, and it might take a little bit to get fully integrated, is the fact that Chime integrates with Dotloop. So the idea of how do I keep track of transactions? And again, I haven't worked with it yet. I just know there's the integration. So as we sort of work through that integration, that'll be another way where we can keep track of our business in Chime that's cohesive with, our documentation and everything else. So again, these are the new systems that are going to be coming online. They are fantastic, incredibly powerful. And it's just, you just don't open the box and it's all there. It does take a step-by-step approach. So again, phase 1 is where we're at right now. We really need to make sure everyone has their brands built. And once we kind of get through phase 1, then we can get deeper into phase 2, which is more the functionality, the lead generation, the engagement with current prospects, et cetera. So like I said, regarding phase 1, if you haven't sat with me and worked through your brand yet, you need to do that. I will be having Bianca make some appointments over the next week with me so that we have time to do this. Again, doesn't need to be in person, can be via Zoom. So we will move forward on that. Where was it? I think the market up. Yeah. So again, I was starting to get into marketing and marketing materials. A new July market update will be coming out first part of next week. SunStats produces the data for our monthly market reports. I just checked it today. It still has June's numbers. Typically, these come out on the 22nd or 23rd of the month. So as soon as we have those, we'll have a Canva market report for you to be able to post on your social medias. And leads. So I touched on it earlier, and we're going to continue to work through the Exit Ad Center. I know, Diane, you're anxious to get into this thing. I am too. I have been doing some research just to make sure that the way that we structure these ads is the way to get the best bang for the buck. And our lead reimbursement program, do we have a catchier name for that, Jason? The trying to come up with something that sounds better than that, but that's essentially what it is. You buy a bucket of leads, a basket of leads, a bunch of leads. You buy some leads from Exit Ad Center. Typically, we're going to recommend you do $150 ad buy. These are ads that run through Facebook. They generate. We generally account for them to be at about $10 a lead. When we were running campaigns end of last year, beginning of this year with Ad Center, we were tending to get more like 20 leads out of $150. So
Yeah,
$7 or $8 a lead.
It was sometimes it was as low as $5 a lead. It was between $5 and $7 on average. If it was a $10 only a lead, it was in an area that you're like, what, I probably shouldn't have run an ad over there. I don't, I'm serious. Like, I've sometimes I ran stuff by price, and with what seems like with the Exit Ad Center, it really is by area. Unless you're doing like a investment property fixer upper, and obviously this was not that. And that's why we learned the hard way.
but through this, you know, the idea of you spend $150, you buy a package of leads. That's the one I'm going to use. You buy a package of leads. What's that?
You'll get a minimum of 15 leads.
You'll get a minimum of 15 leads. Create a deal out of one of those leads, and we will reimburse you on the commission check for the lead package that you bought. So we're trying to, in essence, make sure we get good leads to the agents, and that the agents work them like they own them, because they do. And I am thrilled. It'll be one of the happiest checks I can write, is when somebody turns in a deal. Here's your extra $150. I've got a grin from here to here on my face, because it's a fantastic way for you to go out, generate your own leads, and turn them into business. And, you know, I don't care how much anybody says, when you own it, you own it, versus it being something that's been provided to you. So we think this program will be beneficial for everyone in here. And again, if you've had a recent deal or anything, take a little bit of that money and set it aside. And if we can do this once in the month of September, let's say, and then we'll do it again in October. And maybe by November, you're like, maybe I want to do $300, and really start building out your own pipeline for business. And the other nice thing about the ad center, I'm not going to tell you that every lead is unique and has never talked to any other agent, but I will tell you the lead that you generate comes straight to you and no one else. It's not like a Realtor.com lead. A Realtor.com lead, our office gets it. I don't know how many other offices get it. We always knew that by the time that, you know, you get it immediately and call them, and that person's saying, I've already got 5 phone calls today in the last half an hour from realtors. All I did was click on a button and now my phone's exploding. That's not the way these leads will work. They click on the button, you're the only one getting that lead. So it's nice in the fact that, like I said, if they've clicked on a bunch of other buttons, so be it. But if they're just clicking on this one button and they come to you, it's not like they click on that button and it goes to 5 realtors. It goes to you. So these, in that respect, these are fantastic leads. So and we've seen results out of them. So we know the program, the lead generation program works. So, and I think it's affordable.
That's not going to take away from floor time. We're still going to have floor time and stuff like that. But you know, there's only so many leads on floor time, and then it'll benefit each one of you to invest in your own business. And then, hey, I'm glad to reimburse you for that investment. You know, I mean, 1 out of 15 has got to be a real buyer. It's serious.
Yeah.
You know, come on. If you really want it to work, you're going to answer the phone. You're going to call your leads. You know, you're going to follow up with these people, and you're going to want to make one of those 15 leads turn into a deal. You know, and like I said, and I want to pay you back. You know, so I mean, I would challenge you know, everybody. Let's make the investment. Let's go out after some business. You know, business is there. You know, as we come into the fall months, things might get a little bit tougher. I think you'll see a lot of other agents start to fall off because their friends and everything else have already bought and stuff. You know, and those ones that still have their fishing poles in the water are the ones gonna catch the fish. So let's get them poles in the water.
For sure. All right. What else did I have?
Can I ask a question?
Go right ahead, Tina.
All right, now that I saw, would you post my listing, which just listed on Facebook for me or somewhere so I could share it? I haven't advertised it.
Well, I haven't created your just listed yet for it. That's on today's list. So it's going to be created today. I'm going to send it to you for review.
Okay.
And all you have to do is say it looks good, and then I'm going to send it to Bianca, and she'll post it in the office's Instagram and the office's Facebook. So
is that going to go into my chime?
That won't go into your chime. It doesn't have Other than
Went
the
into-
fact that it'll
it
be
went into
directed,
Dakota's chart.
other than it'll be directed to your website, which is on the
Yes,
advertising.
yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
right, that's right.
Patrick, she's asking about the syndication.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, it was on Dakota's website. Yes.
It's
Tina,
already syndicated, Tina. And the
Okay.
other
It's
thing,
already
is-
syndicated. That's their
everywhere.
IDX syndication.
Okay.
Yes, it's out there.
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't put it on Dakota's website. It was there. That's
That's the IA, right?
What's that?
AI, that's the AI.
No,
No.
that's just the IDX connection to the
There you go.
MLS.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. It was the IDX connection.
All right, so I was looking through the June Sun stats, and this is my dovetailing into my PowerPoint. I was looking at June Sun stats. Active inventory for the month of June was 2,260. This is Palm Beach County single family homes. 2,260 listed as active in the month of June. That's down 54% from a year earlier, which we had 4,989 properties single family homes in Palm Beach County listed as active. So, I mean, we have seen a significant drop off in available inventory. Here's the other number that always surprises me when I see that. Closed sales increased 43% during the month of June, year over year. So while our inventory is shrinking, buyers are buying. So while it is still very competitive, I think we're going to see the number of active inventories grow a little bit when I get the July numbers here, beginning of the month or beginning of the week. There are still plenty of transactions happening. Like I said, closed sales are up 43% year over year for the month of June, and we're going to see that number continue to stay high for the next month and more. So as I get into today, this is a listing update that I was reviewing. Let me share my screen and share. Let me get that in front of me. Okay. All right, I'm missing a window here. Hold on a second. There it is. Okay, so the first screen that I'm showing you here, this is the year over, and I'll tie it all together. So I might move a little quickly. So this is year over year from June of last year. Again, nationwide. I always like to point out Florida, 52%, 58.2% down year over year available inventory for the month of June. And this is not something I think that is a surprise to anyone. Our inventories are low by comparison, and they're staying low. So now we jump to July. I haven't received these numbers on my market report, but apparently the person I get my information from has. Notice that Florida's number dropped from 58% down to 51% for July year over year. So looking at where we're at strictly from the listing side of the business, you can see what we already know is that our issues in our business right now have really very few things to do with buyers and have everything to do with sellers and having available inventory. So now what I like about just noticing on this July slide is that we are noticing the inventory start to catch up a little bit in other parts of the country. We're still significantly behind year over year, but we are seeing our number improve. So, I'm going to jump to the first statement. This is from the chief economist at Realtor.com. If these changing inventory dynamics continue, we could see a wave of real estate activity heading into the latter part of the year. So this is where those first couple slides start to come together. When you look back historically at the new monthly listing counts, this goes all the way back from 2017 to 2020. I don't have 2021 on here. And you'll notice for all those years, except for 20, it ran on a pretty stable curve. You could predict almost where the market was going month over month because it had done it in the previous year and the year before that. Then COVID comes along, and we can see then, March we were trending normally in 2020. COVID hits beginning of March, April, we bottom out, and then we start to bounce back. And you'll notice as we're getting to the fourth quarter of the year, kind of following that same trend. And again, remember that these numbers are national; these are not local numbers. So keep that in context. So now, what's happened with 2021? So when we look at the new monthly counts for 2021, again, we started out low, and we've been sort of trending along the same path, just at a much lower level. And now, so here we are. This is as of June, and we're looking at this and thinking, if that number, if July's number trends us back down, we're probably going to be running into the same issues, a very strong seller's market, and we may see some slowdown in the number of buyers even considering buying, because as the market tightens, it's harder to find what they're looking for. On the other side, if we see this thing going up for July, that could mean some fantastic things as we have more inventory available in a market where we are thick with buyers. So what happens in July? Drum roll, please. It was, drum roll, please. Oops, come on. It was flat. So what does this tell us? Well, it's nothing bad, but it's not great either. It's just telling us that the market is sort of staying at this same level as far as new inventory goes. We could see it rise again going into August and September. Typically, nationally, this is the time of year when the market starts to slow down a little bit with new listings. I think when we're looking at this, it's some of the playbooks have to be thrown out the window, because we're in such a unique market that you can't just count on what's happened in years past. So jumping to the next slide. New home builders have sold more homes than they can build. And now they're limiting their sales in an effort to catch up, helping push home prices higher. This came out of the Wall Street Journal. And this, again, is not something we don't already know. Inventories with new home builders are extremely tight. And, the next slide from the CEO of D.R. Horton, through our history, to have somebody walk into one of our models and tell them, we don't have a house for you to buy today, is something very foreign to them. And again, I have family working for a home builder and a developer over on the West Coast, and she's telling me the same thing. She gets a notification on the first of the month and says, "You have 2 houses you can sell." 2. We're allotting 2 for you. So she sells her 2 houses every month, but there's no frenzy for them. They're not allowed to. They can't keep up with demand. So we know that there is an incredible demand. And are we going to see buyers start to catch up with that, or excuse me, sellers catch up with that and take advantage of this? Obviously, that's the big question, and that's what we need to have happen. So again, this coming from Realtor.com, that the fears of a more contagious version of the coronavirus could prompt some homeowners to delay selling their home, which would press inventory levels even more, just as we're starting to see some improvement. If buyer demand stays high and inventories fall again, that could then press on home prices even more and ignite more bidding wars for limited housing stock. So the question of, is the sort of buyer frenzy over? Are we moving past that into a more normal market, or are we just sort of in a lull between frenzies because of the minimum amount of inventory and the fact that it's summer and people are maybe deciding to take a breather? It's hard to say, but what this is telling us really is that if something negative happens, particularly coronavirus related, that these are things that could ultimately have an effect on reducing the inventory that would increase the bidding wars and the pricing. The other thing that could potentially happen, and I'm already starting to see, it's the next piece of my presentation, is interest rate changes that could start to tamp down the buyer demand. Buyer demand is strong. Interest rates are still ridiculously low, but those types of things will ultimately have that final effect on the market. So right now, if you're looking at the trends where we're at, we're in a slightly improving market as far as inventory is concerned, but it's still a very competitive one. We are still definitely deep in a in a seller's market. So we need to remember this as we're moving forward. I'm looking forward to getting our July data from SunStats to just back up the numbers for our local area as they compare to the national numbers. But this is really what's going on in the market as far as the listing side of it goes. And does anyone have questions about that? Did I not stop sharing my screen?
No.
That's a beautiful, boy, that's a beautiful view.
Yeah, I kind of feel the plateau has a little to do with price too. You know what I mean? Because how high can a 3-bedroom, 2,000 square foot house go?
Well, if the interest rates continue to stay low, people don't buy a $500,000 house. They buy a payment for 360 months. And if I can afford that $2,300, $2,800, $3,100 payment on my $500,000 house,
right,
then it doesn't matter.
It's like buying a car.
It's totally like it's exactly like buying. You're not buying a house, you're buying a payment. So if you can swing the down payment and you can cover your monthly payment, the price isn't quite as relevant. The interest rate becomes more relevant ultimately than the price. So, all right. So getting into interest rates, we are seeing them tick back up. For the last couple of weeks prior, I was seeing 30-year 30-year mortgages for 8.74. Today, the best I could find was 2.874. Sorry. The best I could find today was a 2.99. So they've gone up 1/8 of a point. And same thing with the 15-year at 2.125, which is up from 1.99 last week. So that's also up 1/4 of a point, or excuse me, 1/8 of a point. So it's not so much from my standpoint what the actual rate is, it's what's happened change week over week is what I'm really watching to see if we've got a trend or if we've just got a little bit of a blip with the money. So and in my mind, I think we had a little bit of a slowdown with something money related about a month ago that's now caught back up. That's why we're seeing rates jumping back into, close to 3% for the 30-year, over 2% for the 15-year. 1 week change does not make a trend, but 2 weeks does start to begin to make one. So we'll see where these are at next week. I would imagine they'll be close to the same, but world events, who knows? So, all right. Last few things I want to go through. Every week I go through and look at the RAPB and the classes that they offer. And I don't normally on our meeting here talk about a class that they're offering that starts in 19 minutes. But today they are offering a 3 CE RAPB as is review. This is it's a 3-hour class. It starts at 10. It'll run till 1 o'clock today. They run this class about once every 4 to 6 weeks. It looked like it was free. I didn't go through the full registration. There may be a fee for it, but as I went into the basic registration, it never brought up a fee, which it usually does. So this is an opportunity to get 3 credit hours towards your continuing educations that you need for your license renewals on something that is extremely valuable to you. How all the ins and outs of the FAR/BAR as is contract. In fact, Casey even runs a class on this we do about once a month or so. But again, if you can get 3 CE for it, I highly recommend it. So my point isn't necessarily highlighting this class as much as it is highlighting the fact that they have these classes all the time. You should be at least once a week going and just looking to see what's available on these classes, if it's relevant to you, and possibly an opportunity to get some credit hours, some continuing education hours that don't cost anything or cost very little. It's a great way to do it. This week, also Wednesday at noon, Exit
Look,
is
there's
going to
Patrick.
be doing their Techinar. I'm gonna mute you, Tina. There you go. So
Oh,
Imagine if you could do that in person.
I know.
little baby. Look at him.
I'm not that interesting. All right. Let me just finish this up this morning. Very excited to announce this, that September 13th through the 15th, we will be offering the Platinum Real Estate Producer Boot Camp, designed obviously for new agents or any agents that want to get a good brush up on everything start to finish on how to make sure their business is up and running right, how to work with renters, how to work with buyers, how to generate leads, how to work with sellers, and how to create those seller leads, how to manage your data. This is a 3-day boot camp.
Listing presentation.
Everything
right.
you need to know to be a good, effective realtor. We're going to jam it into 3 days. It's 9:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, September 13th through the 15th. This is the prep boot camp. So get excited. And if you have, first one we run is going to be Monday the 13th. We are not going to run it on an audit basis. If you're coming for the 3 days. But I'd be very excited to have all of you, any of you join. I think it's going to be very beneficial for everyone who goes through it. And it's going to be mandatory for all new agents once, as they come on with the company.
If you guys meet a realtor in the field and they're not being trained, you know what I mean? You're like, man, they could use a little training. Tell them about what we have going on at the office. You know, I'd love to meet an agent that needs to go through it, that needs to get branded. I mean, like I said, Dakota's brand new, and we're basically walking him through and everything. You know, and this is what needs to happen with many agents. So if you see someone in the field, I'll offer the training. You know, and this is part of the reason why we're telling you that we're offering it. Also, we're going to try to do it once a month.
I'm not going to try. We're going to do it once a month.
Sorry, right.
So, but again, it's, we built out this phenomenal class, and it designed it essentially as an online class, but I think the idea of doing it in person, we can really make sure that each step is being given all the effort that needs to be. And through the 3 days, we can get your brand built. We can get you trained on tools. We can get you up to speed on working with renters, creating contracts, working with buyers, working with sellers, everything, listing presentations, pre-listing, how to go after them, how to prospect using RedX, and how to prospect using Facebook Marketplace. We cover everything. So
Exit Ad Center.
What's that?
Exit Ad Center.
Well, not just the Ad Center. There's the mobile business card, and there's the market, all the tools you get with Exit. So it's like I said, this is a beginning to end, fully comprehensive real estate training course that it's being offered in a 3-day session. So a lot of information. The boot camp, I think, is the best way to describe it, because it's going to be it's interactive. This is not something where you sit in front of a screen. This is a hands-on, I don't even want to call it a workshop, because it's beyond that. This is where we will get you ready to rock and roll in this business. So, and if you're already rocking and rolling, we can get you rocking and rolling maybe a little bit more. Yeah. So good thing to go through.
Getting your database together is a part of it.
Like I said, we cover everything.
Yeah, well, like I said, we haven't done that with everyone, and I want them to know here, these are all things that we've been poking here and there, and now we have this class, and it really does entail everything from your image to your database and how and what your marketing is, even direct mail. We have everything that you need to know is going to be structured in these 3 days.
That's correct. All right. So, and we'll have new marketing calendars and those things coming out here as we approach the end of the month. I want to thank everybody for joining me for Coffee Talk. If you need the office for anything, obviously feel free to reach out to me. Phone, text, Bianca's always available on the office line, and she can typically get me as well. So be sure to just stay to get a hold of us for anything that you may need.